So I get asked a lot about my pole dancing. Maybe because I talk about it a lot, so naturally questions come up. But it is a passion of mine, and I've been doing it for about a year now. And I always end up having to kind of make a distinction between the kind of pole dancing that I do, which is fitness pole dancing, and the kind of pole dancing that's done in a strip club. They're quite different. Generally, the kind of pole dancing that's done in a strip club has the primary aim of seducing its viewers. And it's very seductive and it's very sexy. And I have seen it. I've gone to a strip club to see it because when I first got introduced to pole dancing, where else do you go to see it? I saw it on YouTube and I wanted to see it live. So, and it was interesting, and impressive, and I was new to it, and I was just, I wasn't. She was naked, but that's not what I was looking at. I was like going, "Wow, look what she can do with her legs, and how strong she is," and I just thought that was so cool. But ultimately, it was another type of pole dancing that I became completely enthralled with, and it's a lot more acrobatic, and it's very similar to the aerial arts. Like if you ever see Cirque du Soleil and you see this, the Spanish web, the rope thing with the loop, and then there's the trapeze, which most people are familiar with, the silk ropes, those things that some of the acrobats, they shimmy up and then they split the thing in two. Sometimes it's called tissue. And then there's pole, which is a lot of aerial artists now kind of do pole as well because it's a pretty natural transition. Anyway, this is the kind of pole dancing that I'm interested in. And not because I think anything badly of strippers or the pole dancing that's done in strip clubs. That has its place, and it's wonderful, and it's also very impressive when you see skilled dancers do it. That, however, is not the kind of pole dancing I'm interested in or that I do. Um, and the reason I really like pole dancing, I think when I first saw it, I thought, this is crazy. Who is that strong? Who, and who takes the time to learn to do these things that are clearly um, difficult to master? Who has the time to do this and yet get so good at it? I was completely intrigued, and naturally I thought, well, now I have to do it because it looks so hard. And I'm always trying to do things, that are hard. I don't know why, that's just my MO. But anyway, so I'm looking at this thing that has no practical use. It's completely difficult. It challenges your body in so many different ways. But I think the reason I was probably really drawn to it and just didn't know it at the time is the mental draw. There was a mental challenge there. The I can't do it factor, which I think is super important to hone in on because when you look at this for the first time, or at least for me, when I saw pole dancing for the first time, I thought, this is crazy. Who can do this? But there was something inside of me that said, you can. And I don't know why, because I hadn't been, flexible and forever, and it's only until recently that I can even do the splits again, and I hadn't done them since high school. It's a long time ago, people. So anyway, so what I really like about it is you have this thing, this skill set, these tricks that you learn, and at first your first thought when you see it is like, there's no way I can do that. Who does that? It's crazy. But then you kind of get it in your head. It's like, well, maybe I can do it. I think I can do this, and little bit by little bit, and it always starts in your head. And this is what I learned from yoga, which I believe is another reason I like yoga. Once again, it's challenging, has no quote unquote, practical purpose, but there's something about it feels really good when you master a pose, or in yoga specifically, when you get into the pose, when you actually become the pose instead of worrying about the outcome. But anyway, that's a different one. I'll do a blog on yoga later. But with pole, it was just merely looking at the trick and getting it in your head that you can do it. And also, it's just so much fun. This is why little kids like being little kids, by the way, I'm convinced. Is because they get to go on the playground, and not so much anymore, but I remember when I was a little kid, used to play on the monkey bars, and used to dare your friends to climb on top, and you thought nothing of it, and I'm a little bit acrophobic. That's what makes us all very strange, right? I'm afraid of heights a little bit. But there was something very thrilling about being a child and being on the high bar and doing the cherry pickers as a dead man drop, if anybody remembers that. Um, and you know, your friends going, you can do it, and showing you, and you going, oh, I got to do that. Anyway, that's just like pole. Every time I see a trick and it's new and it looks dangerous, I'm thinking, oh, I have to do that. I must do it, and I must master it in 10 minutes. But of course, it's not 10 minutes. It's more like, you know, a couple weeks or a month or whatever. And but I'm always so thrilled when I master it, because not because I've mastered it, not because it's like, look what trick I can do, but I think it's more the journey that took me there from, ooh, that looks difficult. Can I do it? To thinking, well, yes, that's the first step. Yes, I can do it. And I must be thinking that, or else I wouldn't even be trying, right? I just kind of, you know, hang up my stripper shoes or whatever. I just forget it. But no, I look at it and I go, no, I can do that. Not right now, but, you know, tomorrow I'll get a little better, and the next day I'll get a little better. And this is what I'm always telling my eldest, too, the whole practice thing. It's like, if you want to do something well, you practice. So I'm at a friend's studio yesterday, and I'm doing the hoop, you know, the aerial hoop, and it totally reminded me of why I love this. And it's because you get on and you feel so free and you're so focused. And again, I think it keeps you grounded in the present. When you're working on something, when you're so focused, you have no choice but to be present. And that feels really good, because I'm not thinking about yesterday. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not even thinking 10 minutes from now. I'm just thinking, can I stay on this thing and not fall and hurt myself badly? And also, how pretty can I make myself look in this pose? You know, how are my toes pointed? Whatever. And you think about that, and it feels really good to be grounded in that. So, pole for me, or in anything aerial, it turns out, be it a hoop or silks or whatever it is I'm gonna get myself involved with, is really about that. It's playful, it's fun, and in that way, it's so good for my spirit. It's just a way for me to just play. And then there's also the factor of, you know, here's a challenge, and you can overcome it, and become skilled at it, and that's so cool. So I stay focused, and I prove to myself over and over and over I can do something. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, what pole dancing is all about to me. And I will probably continue to investigate other aerial arts, because they're so amazing and fun. And if you've ever had an inkling and you feel like judgmental about it in any way, I encourage you, go and try it. Every woman, by the way, that has ever tried it, it gets kind of hooked. They love it. I've never met a woman who hasn't been on the pole and hasn't gotten a little thrill out of it, because it's that much fun, because you do start to feel like a kid again. So anyway, that's it. And I'll see you next time.